Yo, welcome back to the new edition of Forget About It Sports. Made a few upgrades. Actually, not too many upgrades. We just actually decided and figured out how to add Zoom to YouTube. And now we're live, bitches. We can come straight to you with all of our horrible, insane takes, mostly just mine. But I'm here with my two favorite people. And we're in week 3 of the NFL season. And I got my boy out there, PJ, in the nice teal shirt. I can see that now because I'm on video. How you doing? How's it going out there in Santa Clarita? Are they still rolling blackouts?
No blackouts. I mean, things are good. It got colder, somewhat fast. It was really warm for like a little bit. But we're doing good, man. We're moving on, getting into October. It's the fall in LA.
Okay, all right, that's cool. So maybe it's starting to cool down. And back there, you hear the Matrix, I believe, to be dismembering a body of somebody, a person of some sorts.
That's why he's not on camera.
What he's doing, but I hear loud clanking.
So it's Jeffrey Dahmer.
Very, very mysterious. No.
I just poured a glass,
Jeffrey Dahmer ate black people. That's different. He's not.
You might as well. Did you guys watch the documentary on Netflix?
I'm really gonna go without.
You have to.
It's not a well. I didn't watch a documentary. It's like a show or some shit.
Yeah. I think Jeffrey Dahmer, in my opinion, is like the most least. I feel like he doesn't get a lot of press, at least movie-wise and documentary-wise. On there's a lot of shit about. What's that dude that killed a bunch of women in the 60s? Oh my
Ted
God.
Bundy. But look, as we talk about the head count of Jeffrey Dahmer, he would have surely feasted yesterday on Carson Wentz because Commanders gave up nice. Look, motherfucker, we're not going to start this sports podcast. Our first live, we're talking about Jeffrey Dahmer. We can get into shit later. You're supposed to be the moderator. You're supposed to fucking point. That's your job.
Can I just tell Matrix? Jeffrey Dahmer.
Oh my God.
I didn't know this. I knew of him. I knew like he was kind of a cannibal. But Matrix, do you know what Jeffrey Dahmer is, right? You know the details?
Yes. I've heard of Jeffrey Dahmer. Sorry, I'm just doing something real quick.
Bro, did you know this, dog?
Jeffrey Dahmer was the one who like ate people or something like that?
Yeah, but dog, he killed 17 people. And I think all of those people, except for 2, were African American or Hispanic and gay. So he found the only African American Hispanic gays in Wisconsin, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and he killed them.
Jeffrey Dahmer did they make a movie about him too?
Or no, this was a show. So John, I know you. I didn't know the details, and I watched this show on Netflix. It's done very well. It's a dramatic show. It's like someone's playing him, but
So it's a docudrama?
It's a docudrama, but it's done very well. It's 10 episodes that go through really fast, and it's done from a perspective of his victims. I didn't know this. I didn't know really how he killed people. He might be one of the only serial killer that only killed men. All of his kills were men. He didn't have one female, and he was somewhat gay. And how he killed people, I didn't know this either. I was like, how did you kill fucking 17 dudes?
We watched the same doctor. All right, look, man.
He invited people over their house. And he drugged
American Psycho, right? So there you go.
Drug people, dog.
It's like American Psycho, dog.
American Psycho. He brought people over to say, "Hey, I want to take pictures."
Or dancing.
Yeah, and then he drugged them. He drugged them. He killed them, and then he ate them. And when they arrested him, he had skulls.
So I mean, like, did he eat
skeletons.
Was he eating like legs and thighs, or was he just eating like little? Was he like the Hannibal movie?
We don't know.
He
in his fits.
He never said
when they arrested him, John, he had
those pieces of him in the fridge or something.
He had 2 hearts in a plastic bag.
It's the same docu-series. I'm just annoyed that you're
in the liver.
Telling our fans about this.
And some dicks. He found dicks.
I'm
annoyed right now. All I can do is be quiet because I don't want to give feedback because we're not going to debate.
Anyway, it's a crazy show, man. But anyways, a black person killed him.
Nobody cares about our opinion on football and sports. Go watch the Jeffrey Dahmer documentary. It's great on Netflix. All right, cut. We're done here. We cut a promo.
You gotta film it. Watch it. It's a crazy show. It's a sad show, bro, because like what I got from the show is the police are fucking incompetent. This is the one thing I got, John.
Really? You just
The
realizing that police are incompetent?
bro, they gave the Officers of the Year award to two cops who were absolutely incompetent, completely
Okay.
incompetent.
Oh,
And
wow.
because of they were incompetent, they were under
Hold up.
investigation.
Hold up. Was you like shocked or something?
Yeah, he's very
Was you like shocked?
No,
So wait a minute, cops are incompetent?
What
Yeah,
I
wait a
got
minute.
for the show,
I was shaking my head, dog. SMH, dog.
he said, all right, PJ said a very important thing. He said, all but two of his victims were white. The first two victims he had were white, and he almost got caught. So he realized the easier way would just be kill niggas. And if I just kill niggas and other Hispanics, nobody will look for them, like the police. That's what I got from the show. And the dude that he almost killed at the beginning, you know, where they're showing you the heads and all the stuff they found, they basically brought that dude back like, what's going on here? This dude said you were drugging him. Like he was about to kill him, and the police didn't believe him because he was a black dude. That's all I got. It was like, I got that it was super racist back then, and he got away with it because nobody would investigate. But that's neither here nor there. All right, that was a great role.
it's a crazy show, bro.
Hey, so Matrix, how badly on a scale of 1 to 10 did the Commanders look as you know, as a fan?
It looked pretty bad. It looked like a 2 or 3. But yeah. But yeah, give me like one moment. I'll like hear y'all comments first. I'll comment like last. What did y'all think about the game? I'll be like,
I'll go to you, PJ. I think PJ will instead talk about how sad Jeffrey Dahmer is as a.
I don't know, man. I can't believe the cops were that horrible, bro. Anyways, you know what? If you want to succeed by being incompetent, become a police officer. If you want to become a police officer, just join. If you want to be a horrible police officer, you can probably become police chief in the 1990s, maybe even now. Anyways, I watched the first quarter of the game. I actually had it. I watched it. The Redskins defense played great. I feel like the Redskins defense kept them in the game for the first quarter, but the offense was just garbage. How many sacks was there? 10 sacks? How many sacks was there? Was there a record? It was 5 in the first quarter.
9 sacks. 4 in the first quarter. And then 5 at halftime.
Offense is not good, man. I'm sad to say this. I don't see the offense becoming one of the top 15 offenses in the league. It's not good. I don't see the defense is not good enough to carry the offense.
Well, this is kind of a recipe that Carson Wentz is using, usually like used to. It's basically a shitstorm with the offensive line. And, that's where we are, where basically I've been being told by announcers that because Chase Roulier's hurt, that the whole offensive line is taking a step back. So, I mean, this just shows how horrible the line was. I like Cosme. And then, there's Lichtenberger or Steichenberg, or I don't know. There's a bunch of bums on the offensive line. There's no triple players out there. There's no Pro Bowlers walking through that door. So I feel for Carson Wentz, it's going to happen a lot more. And I feel even worse because he actually, I think, has weapons. Terry McLaurin, I don't know why they still don't get him the ball more. I would just, with fucking Carson Wentz, I would fucking run him to the ground. I would do like a run pass option and give it to him or Antonio Gibson, and then just do a bunch of bubble screens to fucking Curtis Samuel and Terry McLaurin, because and even fucking Jahan Dotson. I would just throw them fucking bubble screens and all throughout the day, because I just can't trust Carson Wentz to do anything. So I don't know. I don't know if we're already at the Taylor Heineke point, or my preference going early on this, the Sam Howell point. But either way, as I see this season right now, it basically is we're soft stepping into, probably going to have a top 10 pick, and let's worry about quarterback next year.
Yeah, Philly's looking good, man. At 3-0.
Yeah, sorry, go continue.
Philly's looking good. They're 3-0. Yeah, it's tough. Redskins are 1-2. They lost that game at home. So I don't see.
This also looks Philly beat too.
Philly beat. But Matrix, what's your thoughts, man? It is what it is.
Well, it all started with the Ron Rivera sauce, dog.
Hey, it starts with coach.
I was thinking that too, man.
Say an old term, Ron Rivera Sustas, dog. Nice and simple.
Because he made the choice to get Carson Wentz and offensive players, or
no, dummy, because of the play, that 50-yard pass, and he didn't throw a flag. What was he doing? He was holding the flag when he obviously didn't catch the ball. It was like common sense. It was the first half. Who cares
I gotta give it. I saw that play. I gotta give the Eagles coaching staff and the players a lot of props because they actually ran that play really fast. That doesn't happen.
Yeah, because they know they knew he didn't catch the ball. They was like, let's hurry up and see if this dummy don't throw the flag, and he didn't throw the flag. Of course, I was hoping when they replayed it, I was like, of course I was sitting here watching the game. I was like, of course he threw the flag. Of course he did. He didn't throw the flag. He dropped it like after they hiked the ball. Like, why would you do that? Like, why would you drop it after they hike it? That's
Yeah, that gave him.
That's that bullshit, dog. Because we know the defense is bad already, so you just giving them points. That was on him. Then you had the Carson Wentz fumble. That was the other mistake. And then they had like a nice, decent, 90-yard drive, and that's the game. That was like their 3 scores. So you had one really on Ron Rivera. You had the Carson Wentz fumble, and then they had like a real nice drive. You had a field goal. That's 24 points. You know what I'm saying? That all happened like in a quarter. They happened like in one quarter. Saying they all everything I just said happened in a quarter, and they didn't score any more points. They scored 24 points like in the second quarter, I think, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? So like that quarter, like those things happened. That's it. That's the ball game, and it was that simple, really. But I mean, they yeah. I mean, other than that, I mean, I wish if we had next time we'll have the OBS thing up so we can like open up the browser and stuff. But yeah, we need to go over some of these players because most of them suck too. Most of these damn players, they have sucked, you know what I'm saying? And I don't think y'all really have a feel. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Like the secondary, secondary is bad, linebackers bad, defensive line, okay, they solid, they average solid, offense.
They should be far from average.
If you can't run,
well, they don't have
you can't block a pass, then you have no shot. Because I mean, the only shot they had was because they can't run the ball until Robinson gets back. They have no running game at all. You know what I'm saying? So if you're not gonna block for Carson Wentz, and then he's gonna take some sacks anyway because it's Carson Wentz. But if you ain't gonna block for him, then the game's over. They can't do anything. They can't run. They can't pass. They can't play defense. They can't do anything. So,
I'm just thinking of it right now. Like, as bad as performances that we've seen from Carson Wentz, yesterday was still the most.
Is that me?
Yeah, there's some background noise. Yeah.
It's your background.
Hold on.
Yeah, you're in there. Like we can hear the full game in the background.
Is somebody watching the game?
I think it's on your end.
Nah, my stuff is muted.
I don't know.
Padmore?
Padmore's like watching the game while he's done.
Are you? That could have been me. That could have been me, but are you still on the YouTube live channel, PJ?
Nope.
I'm in the rave, dog.
Oh, hey, look at the young Matrix on camera. Holy shit. Hey, you look like Shotgun Suge. You know who Shotgun Suge is, a rapper? That's weird. Not a rapper.
Yo, I swear somebody has something open on their side. I don't know.
Yeah, someone's playing the video. There's a video playing in the background.
Somebody's watching the Cowboys Giants game for sure.
Bro, how could we not know?
I don't have the game on. I wish I had the game on. Who's winning?
3-0.
The Cowboys.
Giants.
Yes, so y'all both watching the game. Like it's one of
I'm not
y'all.
watching. I'm sorry, the score. Okay, I don't hear the music anymore. The noise. Oh no, I'm not here.
Yeah.
You have a browser open, John. Maybe your browser is open behind the scenes. You probably have another browser. One of y'all have a browser open with like.
The fuck? I don't get that.
Already fucking up.
So I didn't see. All right, it was me. My fault, guys. But I never opened the YouTube live thing. And it says we're still live, right? Okay.
You are blaming everybody. You are blaming the Matrix. You're about to tar and feather the Matrix. You're about to.
I muted my TV.
I'm innocent.
Hang them.
Yeah,
Muted
man,
my
I'm
TV.
innocent.
I
Man.
don't even know how
Come on, man.
that's
Come
going
on,
on.
John.
Hey, man. Hey, that's why it's troubleshooting. All right.
Yeah, it's trouble. But I mean, look, Redskins.
I think what it started doing was probably I think it was playing the live from the beginning when I started. So when I started watching the game. And I think it just restarted the thing over from the beginning because I was like, this just like even if it was me, it wasn't that loud. But
So next week, I mean, I guess we can talk about it next week.
all right, I wasn't finished. He was talking about the defensive line. That's what he said. Defensive line, it was okay. They should not be average. They should be fucking dominating. And I have a thing.
We're missing their best player.
I know we're missing Chase Young. Okay, we're missing Chase Young. Chase Young can't help that secondary though. So like he can help by getting there a little faster, obviously, but like he needs to come out dominating because at this point he's missed more time than he's played. Like, and I think after this year, I think next year is the last year of his rookie contract. I'm not looking forward to paying that dude TJ Watt, fucking money.
You can't.
You can't. You're gonna have to let him go, and he's gonna end up being like fucking Jadeveon Clowney. That's basically what's gonna happen. If he doesn't fucking play and play well enough that he's like a Pro Bowler type of player, like he has a lot to fucking prove when he gets back, and we need him back right now. And he has a shitload to prove because, the question I would ask, I know it's not all him, but the question I would ask Matrix, do you think it's at this point, are we done with Ron Rivera? Like, is it time to move on? Because I looked down, I was about to say about Chase Young, make the comparison to Tua being there too, which makes Padmore happy. But also they have a brand new head coach who's like younger than like both of y'all. And he's like the head coach of the Miami Dolphins, who are 3-0. So it's time to get this old motherfucker out.
We might need a new blood, man. I know it's taking several steps back, but yeah, we might need, it's hit or miss. Right? Everything is hit or miss.
Ron Rivera brought discipline, which the building needed. She was a disarray under Jay Gruden. Nobody cared. It was just like pool parties and niggas throwing darts. It was like nobody's really even doing so much there. So I mean, I do like the Rivera kind of.
Hey, where is Jay Gruden now?
In Tampa. I mean, he lives in Tampa, like living. He's like retired.
He's not coaching, is he?
No.
Okay. Well, look, John, to your point.
But even then, I wouldn't even bring up like shit. Doug Peterson already seems like a more competent head coach than a lot of.
Coaches. I mean, I hate to do the
this is quickly
coaching carousel, but you're right. I mean, he at least won a Super Bowl.
He did. So did Mike McCarthy, but like just looking at them in their coaching jobs is like this quickly. I don't know. It already seems better. I don't know if Trevor Lawrence got better like that, but yeah, I guess since we talked about the first 3-0 team, well, that being the Eagles. That being said, Jalen Hurts looked good. AJ Brown. I believe I've won that debate, PJ, at least.
About Rose?
No, that I said AJ Brown was going to be a better receiver than DK Metcalf. Y'all got caught up with
You know what? Bold statement. How about Jalen Hurts is better than Kyler Murray?
Oh shit!
How about
He
that,
might
man?
be. He came into a good position. I mean, he's putting up numbers. He might be.
Yes.
Oh, I know. I saw the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, nigga, I know. I think they went to did they go to the playoffs last year? I almost forgot. I think they did,
I
right?
think
They both
they
did. They both went to the playoffs.
lost
Well,
game
well,
one. Yeah, he got shut down.
Playoffs, but
Like Kyler Murray did. Just like Kyler Murray.
Kyler was in playoffs. But here's what I'll say: like one thing that Jalen Hurts, he's got the most talent around him that they ever had. I mean, they got Devontae Smith last year. They were trying to work
They have
him
a
in.
good team.
One to get AJ Brown is fucking
Well,
big.
he'll never have 2 Hall of Famers like Kyler Murray had. That's the end of that one.
That's true.
They're
But
a little older,
that's what I'm
though.
saying about Kyler Murray right now. DeAndre
2 Hall of
Hopkins.
Famers, dog, at wide receiver. I wish we had that. You're 2 literal Hall of Famers. It was like I hadn't seen that wide receiver core since Tim Brown, Jerry Rice. And so that's the last one.
Terry McLaurin and Curtis Samuels.
It was
Exactly.
three.
You can't see that one.
Curtis Samuels, yeah, of course.
And Sam
Yeah,
Davis.
I buy that for $1. I like Jalen Hurts more than Kyler Murray.
Well, I guess are we going to say season is on the line next week against the Cowboys? Can the Redskins go 1-3 and make the playoffs?
Yeah, they can go 1-3.
Okay.
But
They're playing the
it'll be
Cowboys
bad.
next
I
week.
see to lose to them with Cooper Cup. I wouldn't like it, but I think it's gonna come down. Like the defense is gonna have to step up, and basically our whole season is riding on a dude that just got shot like 2 months ago. That's pretty sad. Like a rookie is good come in and he basically has to save the team. Like if we can't run the ball, which Antonio Gibson is never gonna. I mean, we've reached what we're gonna get from him. He kind of works because we had a weird type of janky offense, but we're not like the fucking Chiefs, and we don't have Patrick Mahomes or anything. So like we can't work with that type of running back. We need somebody that's a little bigger and more can pound the defense because Carson Wentz works best on a play action, and if the fucking team has no threat, like play action's not there, and then you just person was getting sacked 9 times. So yeah, we lost another. I think we lost a lineman during this game. I think the season. I don't know. I'm just like I said. My questions are this: like, how quickly do we get rid of Ron Rivera? When do we bench Carson Wentz? And when we bench him, do we bench him for Taylor Heineke or Sam Howell? Because all those things I think are destined for the rest of the season, unless Chase Young comes back, plays better than Micah Parsons, and then we get our offensive line plays well enough. I don't know. So like,
I don't know. We'll find out next week.
Let's go on to
Redskins are just. I would say they're mid, but Redskins are just. Let's see, a couple of games. I did watch a little bit of the Bills Dolphins game.
That's what we're talking about.
It was a good game. It was funny because the first half they scored 28 points. Second half they only scored 12. It just goes to show you the NFL betting. But man, the Bills had so many chances in the second half to win. And also at the end of halftime, it was like a really weird to see how they fucked up. And Dolphins got the win somehow. They eked it out. They didn't do a lot in the second half. Tua didn't do a lot, even though he was injured.
It's lopsided. I don't like. You look at the box score. You don't know how they won that game.
They had the ball, John. I think the time of possession. Yeah, let me get to the time of possession.
Minutes to 20.
It was freaking crazy. Time of possession was 40 minutes for Buffalo, 20 minutes for Miami. That's crazy. Total yards, 497 for Buffalo, 212. So if you think about it, like that's unbelievable how they won that game. But
yeah, they did a lot of. I think their field goal kicker missed 2 field goals.
Yep.
So one time they went for it on 4th down because the dude missed 2 field goals, and then they didn't get that. They missed a lot of points.
They did.
And they let the Dolphins, stay in there long enough, man. But Tua had some good throws in that game, and He's looking good. I don't want to say this. I don't want to throw Chase Young under the bus yet. You know, we gotta wait for revisionist history, but also we don't have Tariq Hill, who didn't do much this week. But yeah, I think it has to be coaching, man. They have a whole different vibe
Yeah,
down.
let's see. Man, I really like Waddle. Waddle as a receiver, he's translated to the NFL really well. When you watch him play, like he plays I like the way he plays. Definitely a really, really good wide receiver, what I've seen.
Yeah, man. If you look at the wide receivers that have come out, like last year, like Waddle. So there's Waddle, there's Devontae Smith. Justin Jefferson's been in the league for 3 years. Something Jamar Chase came in was his last year.
Mm-hmm.
And looking at this year, it's a big thing to me this year. Like the rookie wide receivers that came out. Drake London is looking like a monster. I don't know if you've seen him play at all. Drake London is leading all the rookies in receiving, whatever, in touchdowns and yards and receiving. Garrett Wilson for the Jets, he had like 2 touchdowns and 150 yards last week. And Chris Olave, who I really wanted us to draft, who went to the Saints. Yeah, he had 180 yards receiving, and it's crazy how how much these receivers have been like changed the game. Usually, you know, there'll be like 1 or 2 good receivers come out. Maybe there's a guy like in the late rounds. That's why like Terry McLaurin is such a big thing. It's like, oh shit, he's a 4th round pick. There's like, you know, he just happened to be one of the good ones. But these 1st round draft picks are playing really well.
Yeah, the receivers are really stepping up. Let's see other games. Any other games, Matrix, that caught your eye?
No, I didn't watch any of the games. You think I watched any other games of this fucking shit show of a game? I mean, I watched the end of the. I think I tuned into like the Vikings game. They threw our ass over there after the game, so we watched that dumbass fucking Detroit coach just shit all over his fucking. I don't know. He looked horrible. Yeah, he was horrible. Like, what the hell was he doing? He just was like, "Here, y'all just win it. Y'all just like win it."
That's NFL
he did. He was like run, punt, right? Then no. He was like run, kick, field goal, kick, long field goal. The nigga missed the field goal. Kirk Cousins gets it, throws it, whatever, like 30 yards in the field. He calls timeout. They didn't have no timeouts, the Vikings. They got running the clock. He called a timeout. Yeah, no, that's okay. Timeout. The motherfucker came back out. They needed a field goal. They called the crispiest play. Kirk Cousins threw the most buttery touchdown. This dummy, dog. It was like, what the fuck are you doing? It was like perfect. It was like, damn, dog. Detroit is Detroit, dog. But they beat our ass, see? So I know it's going to be a long season.
Yeah, I'm looking at it here.
I was like, we lost to this fucking dumbass team. I'm like, yeah, it's going to be a long season, dog.
Oh,
the Eagles are pretty good, you know. I think they'll probably, if they stay healthy, they'll be pretty good this year, the Eagles. But we'll see them again. But
you missed a 54
that was that was the only other game I actually like saw, and I just saw the end of it, so I didn't see anything else.
PJ or you might see highlights of Ravens Patriots game.
Yeah, I saw the highlights. Lamar Jackson is on my fantasy team. He is
murdering everything. He's leading you to victory.
I think he was my 4th or 5th pick. I personally made that pick. Personally, okay. I chose Lamar Jackson as a receiver. And man, so far so good. Matrix, do you know Lamar Jackson's stats this year? Let's take a guess. Matrix, how many touchdowns do you think he's thrown?
In 3 games.
I don't know, 3. I don't know.
Touchdowns?
Yeah.
Another guess, please.
No, nigga. You told me to guess. That's the guess.
3 touchdowns in 3 games? You think Carson Wentz? He has 10 touchdowns throwing and 2 interceptions, so 750 yards. His rushing, he has 2 touchdowns rushing, and he has rushed for 250 yards. So he's probably has more rushing and more passing than any Redskins players or teams.
Yes,
Bunch of teams.
he does. I'm not even look that up.
He's playing like a freaking beast.
None of our running backs have 250 yards and 2 touchdowns, and nobody has 7 yards and 10 passing touchdowns. So no, yes,
Yeah, he's killing it, man. He is showing that he deserves that contract. I mean, obviously, it'd be interesting to see what happens, but I mean, he's a good team he's playing.
The fucking, I feel like the Ravens always do this, but the last time they decided not to play their quarterback, and had to overpay was
Flacco. I
So,
remember that.
like, they like disagreed with Flacco.
That was the Super Bowl. He won the Super Bowl that year.
Super Bowl, and then they paid him like $40 million. He was like, "Give me all the cash." So I don't know. I mean, it might be worth it. But I want him to get paid. Look, they're doing the same thing everybody else is doing. The same thing I'm sure Matrix is doing. That's why he seems unimpressed. He's sitting there waiting for that injury clock to tick.
He's gonna probably have the best passing season of his career. I mean, he's on track to have the best, passing season by far. So it's gonna be interesting to see if he has a really good, passing season.
Yeah, it's that if part. Is that everybody's worried, just like last year at the end of the season when they fell apart, is he going to get injured again? That's why I didn't pay him, because he got hurt, and he's a running quarterback, and he's getting older. So he's going to have to win that Super Bowl to get that money, personally, I think.
Money. Any other games, guys? John, any other games you want to go over that we looked at?
I mean, I just think it's funny that I was looking at these top 10, I got them thing on my phone, that Kyler Murray and Dak Prescott are listed in the top 10, but Lamar Jackson isn't. And
in what?
I don't know. What do you think, Alpha? Do you think Lamar Jackson is better than Kyler Murray and Dak Prescott as a quarterback? Or do you think just some nigga's gonna break his leg eventually?
That's a good question. Is Kyler Murray better than Dak Prescott?
He is listed as better than him, but I know
where.
Yeah, that's a good question. It says who?
Yeah, these are from NFL.com and CBS Sports and stuff like that. I got 2 things.
It's just like a ranking or something.
Yeah, it was a preseason ranking, who they think are going to be the top 10 quarterbacks this upcoming season, and it was just I saw it was the Ravens posted it because they were basically saying how do these 10 people, all of them are better than Lamar Jackson. So it was something oh, they were talking shit about our boy. And then I was looking at the list, I was like, yeah, I get it. I see Matt Stafford and Justin Herbert and Kyle Murray and Dak Prescott, and then outside Lamar Jackson's not even on the top 10. I'm like, that's so, I don't know. I don't believe it. But
I would take Dak Prescott, but it's pretty close. You know what I'm saying? I like Kyler Murray too. They're both upper top 10 quarterbacks. They're top 10 quarterbacks for top 10 quarterbacks. Yeah, I would say they're upper top 10 quarterbacks. But yeah, they're both similar, right?
Yeah, similar in.
I mean, that's where I put them. I put them in the upper half of the top 10. I mean, they're
upper half of the top 10. What are you smoking?
What? No, seriously, I put them on the upper half.
Okay.
Well, one of the lists had Russell Wilson 7. So it's all right, is he still there?
Nope.
I mean, we think about this.
I haven't seen him play actually in a while, but he's probably not.
One of them had.
But he's all right still.
One of them was Kyler Murray 8. Is it Kyler Murray 8? Derek Carr 9. Dak Prescott 10. I'm like, Derek Carr? Derek Carr's better than Lamar Jackson too, huh? Okay. I'm like, I just feel like they're going real deep into the bag, and there's a lot of hate on the dude that's faster than Michael Vick. Just
Derek
cut.
Carr, he always fluctuates. Some people think he sucks. Some people like him. You know what I'm saying? I
Carr
kind
is
of,
slightly better than fucking Kirk Cousins.
yeah, I would put him with the Kirk Cousins and the Carson Wentz. I put them like in the
Kirk
next year.
Cousins is a lot better than Carson Wentz, man.
I put Carson Wentz with
Well,
Daniel
he's
Jones.
not better. He's not a lot better than Carson Wentz. No, he's not. And that's all I got to say. And I don't even need to
That's
fucking
all I
elaborate.
gotta say.
No, I have no
No,
argument with you. I have no
you
argument
think
with you.
Yeah,
you're,
I think it's high fucking
you
praise.
might be a little bit.
Tough for debate now. All right, man. Any other games, John, man? Anything else from the NFL, bro, guys?
The last one, the I guess the biggest stunner of the week was how bad are the Chiefs missing Tariq Hill? They just lost to the Colts. Matt Ryan and the Colts.
They missed so many field goals, bro. That game was horrible. Like field goals, penalties. They should have won that game easily. I want to see them play one more week.
At the end, you got you got Patrick Mahomes. You think with just a little bit of time, anything can happen. But without the nuclear bomb of the cheetah, I don't know. But Patrick, I think they'll be fine. They gotta work on their running game, I guess, a little bit more. But I mean, Jesus, I don't know that defense. I think Chris Jones like went off sides, like kept the fucking drive alive. All those little nonsense happened. But the big story was like Patrick Mahomes and like Eric Bieniemy were like yelling at each other at the sideline, but that's probably not nothing that
I
big.
mean, Eric Bieniemy, I feel like he missed out on Bieniemy. I feel like he missed out on the head coaching jobs, man. Like what? Like, bro, you're not gonna get another. You might, but like, especially if they don't underperform this year.
I guess he just interviewed bad, or he interviewed
so?
only don't like niggas or something. Though it's one or the other.
How many?
He got
he's
bad
been-
luck.
Interview bad because Lovie Smith is still a coach, and he's the head
Yeah,
coach.
they must love Lovie Smith though. They love.
Where? Where is he a coach?
He's the coach.
I don't know, but yeah, he has been a coach over and over again.
Where?
He sucked, Lovie Smith. He's been a coach over and over again.
Hey man, stop disrespecting the black head coach like that. Come on.
Shut up.
Really? He sucked. How many? Actually, that's a good point. He's been to the NFL. He's been to the Super Bowl, John and Matrix. Come on.
Yeah,
guys.
he took Rex Grossman, I think, to the Super Bowl, right?
Are you sure? It was a Kyle Orton. I don't know. One of those bums.
No, it definitely was. You know what? It might be anybody else. I know it was no fucking Kyle Orton though. I know that for a fact. But I think it was Rex Grossman.
Which is even more gross.
Yeah,
Okay,
I know
so
that.
he was the Chicago Bears head coach 2004 to 2012. He was the Tampa Bay Buccaneers coach 2004 to
Okay,
15.
that's all we care about.
And he's a Houston Texans coach. So he
Yeah.
has about 10
You
years.
think
10
coaching
years
jobs
ago.
he's had? And he
You don't
sucks.
listen to
Man.
the ball,
He's
dog.
had a lot of head coaching jobs. Yeah, one
This is his last head coaching job.
That's it.
No, dog. Lovie Smith was hired so people would think like the Houston dude wasn't as racist as he was. He was like, I didn't just get rid of that nigger Deshaun Watson. Look, I hired Lovie Smith.
Yeah, they lost to the Colts 29-17. Oh, that game was a lot closer than I thought, actually. If you look at that Colts-Bears game, it was 29-17. That was the only Super Bowl Peyton had. He has two. Peyton has two now.
Oh yeah. I was like, what? I was like,
So he in that game, you want to see you guys want to know who the player was, right?
Now what you talking about?
probably Rex Grossman. I'm assuming it's that. But
Are y'all checking who the quarterback was? Yeah, I guess you could check. I know it was a Kyle Orton. I think it was Rex Grossman. I would put money on Rex Grossman, but as weird as that sounds, Rex Grossman. Yeah.
they're both horrible bets.
That's why I actually no, like as to like who actually went to the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? But it's just weird. I just I remember that because it's Rex Grossman. You know what I'm saying? It's like that nigga went to the Super Bowl. So it's like I kind of remember that. I'm like Rex Grossman went to. I remember just saying that like this nigga's in the Super Bowl. I was like, damn, Rex Grossman, because he even sucked back then for real. That nigga went to the Super Bowl. I was like,
I mean, that was those Brian Urlacher times, you know, before he.
Yeah, it actually was. It was like it was like their defense was dominant. They had like a semi like Ravens like defense that year. They had like a real good
Yeah,
defense.
they
I
had
think
that.
Brian Urlacher. You know what I'm saying?
How do you Google? I feel like we could have found this 10 times over by now.
I'm trying to figure out who that-
browser, but don't worry. After the show's over, I'm gonna talk with Jonathan, and we're gonna get this browser like hooked up. Get this browser hooked up nice and easy on the thing. Because if y'all want to find, I mean, I could have looked. If y'all really want to find that shit out, I could have found that shit in like 10 seconds for y'all. But it's fine. We'll do it after the show. We'll like okay.
Oh, I have the browser here. It's a 2006. There's a 2006 season. Let's see, 2006.
Oh my gosh, dog.
All right, the Chicago Bears quarterback was Rex Grossman. You guys are right. That was his best season probably that year.
I
But,
typed in, did Rex Grossman go to the Super Bowl? And in
Yeah.
5 seconds, it said he helped the Bears to a Super Bowl appearance. In
Mhm.
this, I was, and all you have to do to ask that question again to find out from my stupid ass is say Kyle Orton, and it says no, he wasn't. He was a bum. He sucked.
Kyle Orton never went to no damn Super Bowl. But it's just something like if you watch football, it's just something you remember. It's like fucking Rex Grossman went to a Super Bowl. It's just like, damn, I don't remember this shit. You know what I'm saying? When you go to the Super Bowl and you Rex Grossman, it's like, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't like even that year, he wasn't that good. They just had a good defense. They had a real good defense that year.
Yeah, very good defense. Yep.
Real good defense. And I think a good running game. I forgot their running back, but
They had Devin Hester too that year.
Yeah, Devin Hester. Yeah, there you go. So they had like a record-breaking like special teams player. They had like real good defense, like a super good kicker. They like everything else was good. So it was like Rex Grossman was just like, nigga, don't fuck up. You know what I'm saying? I think he fucked up in the Super Bowl, but you know, he still took him, you know. I remember he actually won a playoff game.
Okay, I get it. So Rex Grossman is like this
Hester,
is,
Devin Hester had like
Jimmy
10
Garoppolo.
touchdowns that year, dog.
Right?
Huh?
I said that area is Rex Grossman. This area is Jimmy Garoppolo, right?
Could be. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I guess so.
Talk about that. How did the 49ers lose? Oh my gosh.
Jimmy Garoppolo.
My goodness, man, it's tough to watch these teams lose. Like, Jesus Christ. NFL is like, you see stuff happening like in real life, like real life, like how coaching mistakes, quarterback mistakes is awful. Anything else, guys, before we go to sports we don't care about?
When it's sports we don't care about it in the week, next week. And I'm gonna, I got a little fantasy update.
Fuck your fantasy thoughts. You should have drafted Lamar Jackson.
This fantasy is about Rihanna and her doing the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Sports we don't care about. Matrix. The NBA season's about to start. Regular season kicks off in about 3 weeks ish, and training camp has started. So everyone's excited, especially the Lakers. See what the Lakers do this year. They're going to be under the gun. But I know John and I, we're excited, John. So maybe we'll do our NBA preview maybe 2 weeks from now. But I'm excited. Sports we don't care about, we're going to get the NBA. Oh, one last thing. I'll keep this in the sports we don't care about matrix. I watched another documentary on Netflix about Tim Donaghy. And it's
did he rape and eat a bunch of gay dudes too?
they have the series called Untold, and I think it's about sports mainly. So the Untold, I guess, series documentary is about an hour and a half. They did it on Tim Donaghy, and I didn't realize this, but his father was an NBA coach, or was a coach in general, not an NBA coach. So he became a coach like in 2004, or not coach, a referee, Matrix, 2004. He had a boy who gambled a lot and was involved in gambling. Tim Donaghy never gambled. They said he never gambled on like the NBA. He gambled on other shit, but slowly over time, him and his boy became friends. And his boy had contact with a bunch of other people. And his boy had contact with people that had contact with the fucking mafia, like the New York or Boston mafia. So apparently, eventually, he started to bet on his own games. So he would give like opinions to someone, like, hey, bet on this game or take this game. Apparently he was about 75%, 75% winning mark.
Killing, beating the books to death.
But the interesting thing I didn't get, it was he was on the show, he was on the documentary. He was speaking on the documentary about his about what he did, him and his two friends who he did a falling out with. So apparently how they got caught was the New York AG was investigating the New York Mafia, right? And they heard through wiretapping, so everyone's fucking wiretap, they heard this thing about NBA referee being under like someone's pocket. So that led to like them coming and reaching out to Tim Donaghy. But the most interesting thing was he made a deal with the FBI and the Attorney General. He was going to go under wiretap, John, and was going to be under wiretap in the NBA, because he said that other referees were in on this. He was saying the NBA was telling its referees, you need to officiate a certain way or make calls a certain way. So he kind of, to save his ass,
they do that.
He was going to go under wiretap. And the funny thing, Matrix, was, so he was under the wiretap. And if you think about how the story broke in 2007, the story broke, it was a fucking leak. So what happened, they said, was, this I found really interesting. The Attorney General made a decision to tell David Stern, right? So they said that they told David Stern, like, yo, we got one of your fucking referees. He's been throwing, he's not throwing games, but he's been like, involved with the mafia and picking games. And the NBA told David, not the NBA, the AG told David Stern, bro, fucking 1 month later, the NBA renewed their TV deals with ESPN and like TNT. So 1 month of being told this, the NBA renegotiated their TV deals, and a fucking 2 weeks later, this leak happened, right? So once the leak happened, he couldn't go undercover in the NBA. So they had to pull him from being undercover in the NBA. And the guys were like, yeah, the fucking David Stern leaked this information. He did all this shit with this information. He did it so that they couldn't investigate the NBA further. And that's it. And the guy was like, he's a fucking idiot for telling the NBA this. Like, he was like, the AG should have never told the NBA that they were under investigation.
I thought you were going to tell me he was dead, but let me know when that story happens.
So anyway, that's interesting to see kind of how the NBA saved his face and covered itself, but it's water under the bridge now. It's a really interesting documentary. Like, apparently, according to him, Matrix, he only made $60,000. He said, they asked him on the documentary, how much money did you really make? And he was like, I only made, he said my contract was the betting contract. Anytime he picked a winner, he was given $2,000. If he picked a loser, zero. So he basically just had to pick winners, and he was given $2,000. But the fucking people he was working with, the conglomerate of investors he was working with, they were betting millions of dollars on games through his picks.
I mean, if you have 75% hit rate, then yeah, you make money. And yeah, 2,000 is a drop in the bucket to get.
So people were betting millions of dollars off his picks, eventually, which would made it to the mafia. The mafia knew, and they were like making money too, and that's how he eventually got caught.
They said fuck Wall Street, dog. It's NBA Street, though. So we
Exactly.
do, but it's NBA Street game.
Well, he's lucky they didn't come see him in the alley about his knees.
Yeah, the one thing he did talk about how the NBA, like he did say like there's an unwritten kind of law that you officiate the superstars differently, because he was like, the fans come to see the superstar. They come to see Shaq, they come to see LeBron, Jordan. So he was like, yeah, the NBA obviously officiated a certain way. He also said a story of like the NBA had a rule on travel, and he called a travel on Michael Jordan. And then Phil Jackson got up and said, "You don't call travel on Jordan. You don't call that rule on Michael Jordan. You call on everybody else but Michael Jordan." And then he was like, "Yeah, the referees kind of took that and they officiated that way." It's like, oh wow. He said one time, John Matrix, this I found funny. They made a bet. All 4 referees made a bet that someone would buy dinner if they made the first call. So they said they went like 8 minutes in the quarter without making a whistle, and that was because of the bet. So shit like that, he talked about. It's interesting.
Well, yeah, that's
Why nobody watches the NBA? Yes.
39th reason I don't watch the NBA. There you go.
Well, at least they took him out of there. Hopefully, even though they got the same referee still. They got John. That Scott Foster was one of the referees he was talking to every day. They were like, "Why are you calling Scott Foster before the game and after the game?" And they cleared Scott Foster of any wrongdoing. So
Scott Foster, I pick winners. You understand?
he's still refereeing, bro. He's still a fucking lead referee.
Out of the damn table.
You know the funny thing about Scott Foster, Matrix? Chris Paul is 0 for 13, right? Right, John?
Yeah,
He's 0 for 13 in games Scott Foster referees in general. He's 0 for fucking 13.
That's called a trend. There you go. A dirty trend.
Anyway, that's sports you don't care about, guys.
Smart enough to have been. It was like we should have known by game 5 or 6. We should have been betting on that. It's like he lost 5 games in a row with the same ref, huh? They always get in arguments.
Okay, here we go. Look, here's an article. Scott Foster has been the NBA referee for 25 years. Chris Paul has been the NBA for 17 years. As a result, Foster has possibly become Paul's biggest rival. With the Suns' Game 2 loss versus the Pelicans, Paul has now lost 14 straight games when playing a game refereed by Scott Foster.
Oh, well, obviously he's just nervous. Chris Paul's fault. He needs to get better.
Anyways, yeah, I found it interesting.
That's why Steph Curry and Klay Thompson broke all that apart, dog. You can't. Well, we're gonna call. You're gonna call like a walk on a 40-foot 3-pointer when they come across and he shoots a 3 from like 8 feet behind. I'm like, well, I don't know how we can shave those points. I don't know. He's much the line. How do we? Yeah, like
you guys want to hit on the games next week before we call it a day? NFL games. Pick the liners.
I wanted to make just a few bouts of fantasy as I'm about to lose here. I think me and the other person I'm playing both have 1 player left. He has Ezekiel Elliott, and I have the Giants defense.
So far, so good. I don't think Ezekiel Elliott is doing anything.
I got like 60 yards somehow.
Okay.
Half, which is a lot. I hope I get another 60 yards.
How many points are you losing by? Or what are you winning by?
I'm only up by like 4 points. So if he scores a touchdown, I'm done for.
You're done for. You need Giants to get a turnover.
Yeah, I why I picked up the Giants, and I was like, I'm betting on a Cooper Rush like turnover. Like, this got to be at least 1, right? But yeah, it was fun to talk about the NBA. You see, I'm wearing my Wizards shirt right now to show that I'm already ready for NBA season.
That's already
probably be just as bad as the Commanders, but
all right. Let's cop out the next week. I'm gonna hit a couple of games. Okay.
Oh, sorry.
Commanders. Wait, fantasy football. My fault, John. What do you got on fantasy?
Yes, I was just saying. Basically, fantasy keys, pickups, waiver wire. That's basically all I'm going to talk about.
Okay.
Is the waiver wire, what you need to have.
Okay.
Some people don't have Khalil Herbert. He's not owned by about 45% of the owners out there. He had a monster game for the Bears. He had almost 200 yards and 2 touchdowns.
He's a starting running back? Who's he?
Starting running back for the Bears, but
Okay.
they kind of is a split time there. Nobody's really feeling the Bears, so he kind of fell against the wayside. Another guy nobody's ever fucking heard of. I'm putting his name out there now. His name is Mac Hollins. He plays for the Raiders. I was looking at the game. I was watching it, and man, he was making some big plays out there. He had 8 catches for 158 yards and a touchdown. And as well as Chris Olave, who is owned by most people, but he's a rookie. I'm going to keep looking at this dude because he was drafted 11. We had the 11th spot and we traded out of it. And so, I always think about the people we could have gotten. We got Jahan Dotson. So, but I will compare those two as their careers go on. And Chris Olave had 180 yards receiving, no touchdowns, but you only do so much with listed. All right, that's it. Just waiver wire. Those are 3 wire pickups for the week. Chris Olave, Mac Hollins.
Are you picking those guys up yourself?
And well, my league is pretty deep. So 2 of those guys aren't available, but Mac Hollins, who had a good. There needs to be another wide receiver opposite of Devontae Adams, because Devontae Adams is getting like triple team now, because like he's just
I have Devontae Adams.
Devontae Adams is like routing people to crazy the first 2 weeks, so they can't even double team. They're triple teaming him now. So somebody has to step up for Derek Carr. Other than that, I don't so much believe in him, but I know he puts up numbers. He's like Kirk Cousins. Like, I don't believe in Kirk Cousins, but I believe in Justin Jefferson. So that's how I'll go for it.
All right. Thank you for those picks. We'll do a couple of games. Okay. We talked about the Washington at the Commanders. Matrix, what do you think that line is at as of today?
Washington versus the Commanders, or they'll lose themselves.
ESPN.com. What do you think?
Once again, you didn't catch me saying Washington versus. You said the Washington versus the Commanders. So,
Washington versus the Cowboys. Commanders versus the Cowboys.
Okay, I was like, they're gonna beat themselves. I'm not talking about what you're gonna do when this video goes off.
What do you think, Matrix? What do you think that the line's at? Cowboys. I'm sorry, Commanders at Cowboys.
Like 3 or 4.
Yep, Dallas is favored by 3. You can't even get Cooper Rush. Good Lord.
But the game's not even over for the Giants. They have to spread out. They're still playing.
According to this, I'm on ESPN. Yeah, they have to spread out.
It's weird because like there could be injuries or anything. You don't know what's happening in the second half.
I don't know if ESPN is right. This is another good game, John. We got the Bills at the Ravens, both 2-1 teams. The Bills had a tough fucking start.
I mean, yeah, the Dolphins are pretty good. I think they probably should have beat them.
What do you think this line is at? Bills at Ravens.
The Vikings, right? Beat each other. The Vikings week 2. The Bills. Yeah, Josh Allen. They'll be fine. I mean, I think them losing will just make them clean stuff up and be better as the year goes on. So, this is to me, it's more of a test for Lamar. If Lamar figures out a way to win this game against Josh Allen, like it won't just be him, it'll be the fans, it'll be people in the media talking about pay him his money, pay him now.
So what do you think the line is here?
Where is it in Buffalo?
No, Buffalo at the Ravens.
At the Ravens. Fuck, I don't know. Probably 1.5. The fucking Bills.
Bills are favored by 3.5 points.
2.5. I was gonna say 2.5, but I'm like,
it'll be an interesting game.
Kind of fucked up because it's not. Yeah, not they're the away team, so they just think they're that much better. Ravens defense looked fucking shaky. I mean, it gave up 6 touchdowns to fucking Tua. So, I mean, Josh Allen just threw 63 times for 400 yards. I mean, my thing is, do they not have any other way to move the ball other than him throwing? But, you pay him all the money. I guess they want you to throw a lot. But it'll be if they win, it'll be square on Lamar Jackson that he played a crazy game because the Ravens defense isn't what it used to be. I don't have any belief that they're gonna slow down what the Bills are doing. Like, so if the Bills don't come out and shoot themselves in the foot, I think it'll be all right.
That's football for you, shooting yourself in the foot. Let's see, we got
Matrix. Matrix hasn't said what he wants on either one of the games. He's just like gotten to listen to us. Like, who do you think is gonna win, the Ravens or the Bills?
Who cares really? I guess.
All right, let's.
Motherfucker, you said the people watching care about our recaps of the scores.
Who cares?
Scores for next week, the spread. So people really like that. Like,
What is the spread?
Bills by 3.5.
The Bills are minus 3.5 at Baltimore.
All right, that's fine. All right, give me the Bills.
Okay, I'll do maybe two more. We got.
Yeah,
I think
continue.
This is a Monday night game. We got the Rams at the 49ers. Who do you think is favored?
Hey, I don't like that, Pat Mull. Just fucking tell us the goddamn spread. I'm getting sick of like.
Yeah, you know what? I agree with that. That's over with. Yeah, there's no more
Nah,
guessing
it's not
spread.
guessing.
This isn't like guessing game. This is like the
Just
guessing
say
game.
the fucking thing, and then we
Okay, that's too
Yeah,
much
like,
Bill
this is
Simmons.
no
That's a Bill
guesswork.
Simmons. I got that from the Bill Simmons podcast. All right,
Yeah,
the
don't
49ers are favored by 2.5. I think the Rams are going to win this one, and you're getting points too. I'll take the Rams.
Yeah, I have no faith in Jimmy Garoppolo, and I don't think anybody else should. And Trent Williams is out next 4 to 6 weeks.
What happened to him?
High ankle sprain or some shit like that.
Mm.
Yeah,
Trey Lance?
This the first time.
He's out for the season, though, isn't he, Trey Lance?
Yeah, Trey Lance is out for the season. I said Trent
Oh,
Williams.
Trent Williams. Okay.
Yeah,
Feel bad for Trey Lance.
Williams is out for 4 to 6.
Remember who was arguing about Trey Lance the whole year, like the offseason? I was like Trey
We
Lance.
we're not gonna get resolution. We're not gonna get
I
resolution.
know he got injured, so yeah, he got injured. So.
They were saying it's kind of fucked up because the coach had him run a lot. They were
Well,
like,
how
he
many
ran the
teams
ball like,
in 3 years? Come on.
yeah.
We didn't
Had
get
to
good.
run a lot. That's like saying Jalen Hurts and the Eagles were number 1 in rushing offense last year. That's because they ran a lot. And and the only reason they were number 1 is because Lamar Jackson got hurt, and now they'll be number 1. So, like, when you got a quarterback like that, it's unfortunate. You got to run him, and he probably can't pass as well, so he needs to run anyway more than he.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Man to death. That's messed up.
Yeah, it's kind of fucked up. I'll give you one. We'll do one more game. Chiefs at the Buccaneers, and the Chiefs are favored by 2.5. I feel like they're gonna win that one too.
Yeah, I'll take the Chiefs.
Yeah,
not bad.
I could take the game though.
Could be.
Tom Brady, like, he'll get Mike Evans back, and then he might have Julio Jones back. But like, I mean, yeah, they keep having injuries everywhere. So
He can't, and he's not the type of player that can be dynamic and get points on it with his feet.
You can't run Tom Brady to death. You have to let him be the GOAT and get him some players that'll get open. So yeah, anyway, long story short, I'll take the Chiefs just off of bias. Mahomes has more firepower.
Yeah, it's gonna be an interesting game. One of them will be 2-2 after the game. I think that concludes some of the games, guys. Any last parting shots?
Let's conclude some of the games. All right, they doing all the games.
Not all the game, not all 16 games, 15 games.
He
You
picked
don't make us
I
fucking
think we
guess.
are a fucking betting site.
Grandma's favorites.
Yeah,
Picked up his favorites.
Look at the Vikings. When they all buy, everybody else is on buy. It's like Vikings and the fucking Falcons and
It's
Lions.
Pablo's favorites.
Padmo's favorite stuff. Come on, man. Can we get like 4 or 5 more Padmo's favorites?
4 more, my God.
Who are the Eagles playing next week?
No,
Jalen Hurts. Who are the Eagles playing?
we're
Who are
not
the-
pro football focused here.
Who are the 2 undefeated teams playing next week? Can you tell me?
I guess this podcast is a pro football focus. Let's see, undefeated teams. Undefeated team. Who's
Who are
undefeated?
2 of them? Who are the Eagles playing and who are the Dolphins playing?
All right. Okay, here we go. Eagles. Oh,
It's
this is
like
a good game.
week.
Jaguars at the Eagles. Eagles are favored by 6.5. That could be a good game. Jaguars are 2-1.
I'm gonna take the Jaguars. I'm taking Jaguars as 6.5. Doug Peterson revenge game, baby. I'm taking.
What do you got, John? What do you got, Matrix?
Stepping back in, like fuck the Eagles. Like,
Who?
Jaguars at the Eagles. Eagles by 6.5.
Yeah, I'll probably take the Eagles.
Okay.
But you never know. It's one of them games where
Yep.
the Jags might be playing
Jaguars are looking good.
pretty good.
I just think the Eagles, just beat the Lions and then beat us, and now they're like, people are like, oh, is he the greatest? And I'm like, I don't know. He just, I think his first 3 games were the Vikings, the Lions, and us, and Jalen Hurts is like apparently like the MVP now. So,
yeah. You're taking the Eagles, right?
The Jaguars.
Okay, sorry. All right, the other game, the Dolphins undefeated, the only other undefeated team at the Bengals. The Bengals are favored by 3.5. I think they're countering that Tua might not play. I feel like, but Bengals are favored by 3.5.
Oh yeah, did any of y'all see that? What do y'all think about that? I mean, he might not play. They're like basically making him go back into concussion protocol, but they said he got hit in the first half and he fucking was like stumbling around, like he couldn't walk. He got hit so hard. And he like fell over. I don't know if any of y'all saw the replay. But then like the second half came out and they're like, he's fine. He passed all the concussion protocols. Who cares that his legs were like wobbly jello just 10 minutes ago? Like he tried to get up, he fell over twice. He tried to get up and
I saw that too. He got hit pretty hard. That's what I like about Tua, man. He stays in there.
Well, they might take him out. I mean, if not for I don't think the concussion is gonna slow anything down. To me, that's a good game. This might be one of the games I would personally like to watch. It sounds like a horrible game like 15 years ago, but Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, and Tua with Tyreek Hill and Waddle, whatever. It might be like, I hope it's a high flying like quarterback battle. That's what actually, yeah, I really like that. It'd be a game I would love to play on like Madden. It's like pure offense. That's what I would want. So yeah. I'm gonna stay on the Dolphins. I don't even know what the spread is.
Kansas City, I'm sorry, Cincinnati fair by 3.5.
Okay. I'm rolling with the Dolphins and their new head coach. And,
yeah, let's see. 4-0. I agree with you.
All right, then. Well,
I agree.
I guess that does it for us then, boys. Since we don't run down all the games anymore, we just choose what Pat Maul wants.
I mean, we can't do 15 games, bro. It's gonna take 30 minutes.
Yeah, hold up.
30 minutes?
That's why I'm about to we're about to do some like quick thing. I'm gonna connect this thing with Zoom.
Yeah.
So we can use a browser and stuff. We'll all see the browser online. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
None of us are just, so you can just look at it yourself or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know, Pamela, if you want to stay for this, but you probably can like go. I'm just gonna
you're gonna add to the
this
browser
thing with like Jonathan. But yeah, like it's up to you. I'm about to do some
on Zoom.
So next.
yeah, something like that.
Well, thank you, fellas. Have a nice